Alrighty, you are looking live. It's sold out MetLife Stadium where today the 16 and playoff bound New York Giants are taking on the 0-16 Dallas Cowboys. And why the Dallas Cowboys 0-16? Because they suck. Man, it never gets old. Welcome to the Gridiron. Jersey guys is in the house already. What's going on? Anybody at all is going to spend a little bit of time with me here this evening? Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Or if anybody's going to spend any time watching the replay this once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me, it really does. I'm going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight, shoot my mouth off for about 30 minutes. Anybody got anything to say, please feel free. Fire away, throw in the chat box. Usually try to check on the chat box like every 5 or 10 minutes or so. So, as soon as I see something in there, I try to respond to it as fast as I can. So please feel free, fire away. And plus also, instead of me just rambling on for half an hour, 45 minutes or whatever, it's nice to talk to another Giant fan. So please feel free and fire away. Before I get started, if anybody wants to help support my channel out, it would mean the absolute world to me. In the description box below, there's a link, the top link, it takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. The first one's called the Saquon, second one's called the Lawrence Taylor, and the third one's called the Gridiron. Each one's got their own little perks to them. So if you want to help support my channel out, it would mean so much to me. I thank you in advance. Thank you. If you are subscribed to my channel, thank you. I can use all the support I can get, guys. But if you're not, please go down below, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon. That way next time I go live or put a video out, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge. What do you got to lose, right? But if you are subscribed to my channel, thank you. And then finally, also in the description box, there's 2 Facebook links. The top one takes you to my Facebook group. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. Basically, I say this in every video. My YouTube channel, Facebook group, and my Facebook page, which I'll go over in just a second. It's all called the same thing. It dumbs it down for a moron like me. That way I don't go, what's my YouTube channel called? Is the Facebook page called something in the Facebook group? It's all called the same thing. It makes it nice and easy for me. That way I can remember, right? You're getting old, you start forgetting things. But the New York Giants, the Gridiron, I can remember that. We have over 5,200 members in the group doing simply marvelous. Basically what it is after I get done going live here, I'll spend like the next couple hours putting stuff in the group and putting stuff in the page. And I try to get at least 10 things in there every day. And with the season upon us here, it's ridiculous how much stuff is out there. As far as I said, was a video, I'm sharing an article, a post, a picture, something just showing some stats on a ball player, something making fun of the Eagles or the Cowboys, which I put a few of those things in there today. I put quite a few things in there in the group about making fun of the Cowboys. So I also found a couple things I'm getting ready to put in there with the Eagles too. So I don't want to leave the Eagles out, but it's a ton of stuff going in there every day. As I said, I try to get at least 10, but usually it's closer to like 20 things every day going in there. And if you become a member of the group, not only do I post stuff in there, but the members post stuff in there as well, too. So, basically it's darn near almost 365. If I'm alive and breathing and I got internet access, there's stuff going in this group every day about the Giants. And then the second Facebook links take you to my Facebook page. It's the New York Giants, the Gridiron, but it's a page, right? And it's the same thing. After I get done going live, I put stuff in the group and in the page, right? As I said, it's, all the same stuff, whether it's an article, a video, a post, a picture about of Lawrence Taylor or somebody, something just showing some stats on a ball player. Once again, something making fun of the Eagles or the Cowboys, which are my personal favorites, right? There's a ton of stuff going in there every day. And basically, I don't commingle them. So basically, whatever I put in the page, I don't put in the group. Whatever I put in the group, I don't put in the page. I just try to keep them separate. So in the page in the group, there's a ton of New York Giants information every day, basically 365. And so if you go to the page and you like it and you follow it and you go to the group and become a member, every day, darn near almost 365. There's a ton of information every day on the New York Giants. But you can't make everybody happy. So I got my money back guarantee. So if you go to the page and you like it and you follow it, you go to the group and become a member. You're not 100% satisfied. You get your money back guaranteed. When all that stuff said and done, man, I'll tell you, woo, man. That sure brings me back to the days of Kenny Scott. Yeah. Well, on the back of it, I think has their two championships, 69 and 70 and 72, 73. I remember 72, 73. I was just a little too young for 69, 70, but 72, 73, I remember that. I mean, so we're talking 50 years of no championships for the Knicks. Yeah. It's getting close to almost like my Rangers. And then, well, the Rangers are like 30 years now. The Rangers were, I think, 93, 94 was in it when they won the Stanley Cup. So we're like 30 years for the Rangers. And then, of course, I guess we're getting close to 40 years for the Mets. Yeah. So, I mean, I tell you what, basically the last 30 years, the Giants are the only thing that keeping me going. Let me tell you what. I mean, we had some long. 86 was for the Mets, 93, 94 for the Rangers, and 72, 73 were for the Knicks. Holy cow. We got some dry spells going on. Let me tell you what. 94, yeah. I mean, it's almost 30 years for the for the Rangers. I mean, so you got 30 years for the Rangers, almost 40 years for the Mets. They ain't winning it this year. So you got 30, 40, and 50 years for this. So you got what, 30, 40? You got a 120-year dry spell between those three teams. Wow. And then you got to figure 10 years for the Giants. So you got, 130 years of dry spells between the four teams. Whew. Wow. Well, at least I can pound my chest and say, I'm not a Patriot fan, or I'm not a, so-and-so. Oh, who's the best team in basketball? Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. They're my favorite team. Yeah. Golden State. Yeah. I love those guys. That's the greatest team. Yeah. I love, I mean, I'm a Patriot fan. Woo, so. Well, I'm a Yankee fan. Yeah. I mean, I was born in Georgia, but I'm a Yankee fan. Yeah. How many World Series? Yankees got 25 World Series. Yeah. I'm a Yankee fan. Oh, yeah. Nah. Nope. No, because I was born in New York. If I was born around here where I live, I'd be a Philadelphia fan. But I was born in Queens, New York, so that's what I was a New York fan. Absolutely. I was a Ranger fan because the Islanders weren't around, and I was a Knicks fan because the Nets weren't around. I like the Islanders and the Nets, but neither of those two teams were around. And I remember watching the Giants first before I actually saw the Jets play. So I was a Giants fan. And my father, I think he liked the Mets. So we used to watch the Mets on Channel 9. So we very rarely didn't watch the I think the Yankees were on Channel 11, I think, at the time. So we didn't watch the Yankees too much, I don't think. But we used to watch the Mets a lot. So that's why I like the Mets. I like also blue. Giants are blue. Knicks got a little bit of blue on them. Rangers are blue. Mets are blue. Giants are blue. So it was the blue. That's what I liked. That's what got me in there. Yankees, New York here. No, there you go. Oh, Yonkers. Okay, very good. Yep, Queens. Oh, yeah, good old Queens. But I'll tell you what, boy, man, you miss, well, I wouldn't really miss a day, but I mean, I didn't do a video yesterday, but boy, I'll tell you, man, we got all kinds of stuff going on here. We got the, I like this. This was pretty good. They got the team captains, the 10 of them. They're certainly showing some love to some of the new guys, though. Now, of course, I believe this is all, voted by the guys. I mean, I don't think the coaches or nobody had anything. It was all voted on by the guys. So they got the 10 captains. Of course, you got to, it's good to see that Mr. Graham Gano. I guess he's the only special teamer, but we are so lucky to have that guy. Let me tell you what. I mean, man, he made the 250-plus yard field goals against the Jets. I mean, it just makes it almost look like a automatic, like it's an extra point or something. But good old Saquon, good. Because Danny Dimes, we got the 4 guys on offense, right? Andrew Thomas, good. Danny Dimes, good. Saquon, good. And then Darren Waller, very good. They're showing him some love. That's good. That's really, really good. Bring the new guy in. He's got some big things expected of him. Put the C on his chest and let him turn into a Superman. So that's good. And then, of course, on defense, we got Adoree Jackson. I like that. I got no problem with that. Good old Xavier McKinney. Good. The sexy one, Leo the Lion. So you got the two studs in the center. Then, of course, showing some love, right, for the new guy, the guy behind Sexy Dexy and Leo the Lion, Karake. Very good. I really like that. I ain't got no problem with that at all. Bringing him in, obviously, paying him some money, expecting him some nice things from him. He's going to be hopefully on the Giants team for hopefully, 4 years. That's what the contract is anyway. But so that's really, really good. To the whole 10 captains. Let's see here. It says, what we got? In the 9 years from 2009 to 17, the Giants had 3 season-long team captains 7 times. They had 5 captains in 2013 to 2014 before reverting to 3 from 2015 to 2017. I forgot all about this stuff. I know they had different numbers, but all right. So in the 9 years from 2009 to 17, the Giants had 3 season-long team captains 7 times. They had 5 team captains in 2013 and 14. And then they reverted back to 3 from 2015 to 2017. So yeah, in 2017 they had 3 captains, but now they're up to 10. But that number doubled to 6 captains every year from 2018 to 2021. Right. So I guess, what do we got? So I guess that would be the Shermer/Judge era. They had 6 captains, right? And then last season, Brian Daboll's first as head coach, the Giants had 10 captains. So, and you got Barkley as a captain for the 5th consecutive season. That's the team's longest active streak. Jones is a 4th-year captain. Cano is the 3rd. Thomas, Lawrence, Williams, McKinney are 2nd-year captains. Jackson, Waller, Karake are selected captains for the first time. So I'll bet you Adoree probably feeling pretty good about his being picked as a captain. I'm sure he's feeling some love there. So that's good. Let's see. It says the way we do it is I have 6 slots and I have all the players vote. And then if you get a certain amount of votes, then you are named captain. So, okay. Daboll said, I think there were 22 people on the team that received votes, which to me is good for our team in terms of the way players perceive other players in leadership roles. So that's good. That's good. Just because you are not a captain doesn't mean you are not a leader on a team. There was a considerable number of guys who got maybe it was 5 votes or 3 votes. Some guys got over 50 votes. Wow. But that was all by the players. So that's good. That's the way it should be. All right. Then we got the final 53. Now I was reading, Bobby. Oh, yeah. Bobby O's. Oh, yeah. Oh, man, I can't wait. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how they deploy Simmons. You know what I mean? But, I mean, could you just this? I mean, because it's not, very rarely, are you going to have, whatever, Dexter Lawrence and Leo Lion right there, right? Then you're going to have, say, Azeez and Kayvon. So you have your front 4 there. And then you're going to have your what would you have? Your 3 cornerbacks, and you're going to have your 2 safeties, maybe Pinnock and Xavier McKinney back there, your safeties, right? And then you're just going to have Terrence. What's up, Terrence? And Vinny G-Man. What's going on, guys? Very rarely then you're going to have a Karake and then Simmons standing right next to each other as like the inside linebackers. That might happen, but it's probably not going to happen a lot. Not with the way Wink, is drawing stuff up and he goes to bed and starts thinking of dreaming all these, scenarios and all. But I mean, can you imagine? I mean, the speed between those 2 freaking guys. I mean, oh my goodness, wow. I know just listening to some guys talking, all like with Simmons. Was it Nick Filato? Might have been Nick Filato. Was he talking about Simmons? Somebody was talking about Simmons. Might have been Nick Filato. I mean, he's good if you rushing him, but scheming him not to go up against like a tackle. Like the way they schemed him up. I don't know, it was the first play that he was in or whatever. He rushed they schemed them up. I think they had like 4 guys rushing, but they had like 3 guys on one side, and they kind of schemed it up where Simmons ran up against the running back. That's what you want to do. He said, I think it was Filato was talking about that. Like, if you want to scheme Simmons, don't just have him just blitz where somebody's going to maybe, a guard or somebody's going to come and be able to pick him up, because he might have some hard time getting rid of somebody much bigger than him. But if you can scheme him up, maybe to take on a tight end or a running back, or somehow if you can get him running free at the quarterback, that's what you want to kind of do. But I'm saying, just imagine those 2 guys, Carrick and Simmons, if they were to be like, every once in a while, maybe they're actually standing as the inside linebacker. I mean, just the speed from sideline to sideline. I mean, woo, man. I mean, you can just do so much with Simmons. I mean, it's just, it's going to be interesting to see what Wink winds up dialing up for him. Dealer, that's it. Dealer Joe. Well, they were called him Trader Dabes because he made the trade for Hyatt, and they got Dealer Joe. Oh, yeah, well, of course, we'll talk about Boogie. Right, I think he got that. I think they said his nickname was from. He likes. What does it say? He likes to dance. Oh man! Oh, maybe it's in the article. Yeah, I think it was maybe in the article. Oh wait, no, wait. Nope. There it is. Wikipedia. Basham is the cousin of NFL defensive end Terrell Basham. He gained his nickname Boogie due to his fondness for dancing in his youth. He likes the boogie. Boogie on now. Now he in Wake Forest. Now I saw there was something. I think it was Nick Filato. Now I don't know where he got his numbers from. Nope. Oh, there we go. Nick Filato. No, I'm just looking at PFF. That's all I'm looking by here. Nick Filato is freaking guys, very, very, very intelligent dude. Let me tell you freaking what. He has at Wake Forest, Boogie had 145 pressures and 1,144 pass rushing snaps. Now, I go to PFF. So he said 145 and 1,144. PFF pass rushing, he has 1,224. That's all I'm going by. So I'm not saying Nick's right or Nick's wrong. I'm not saying PFF has it different. PFF has over 1,200 pass rushing attempts, and he has 152 total pressures. So Nick has him at 145. PFF has him at 152. Now, basically, that's just college, right? So basically, that's 1 out of every 8 pass rushing attempts that Boogie has, he would get a pressure. He has, according to PFF. Now, they don't do half sacks, PFF. They don't do 7.5. Everything's a whole number. So he has 25 sacks here. Now, what does Nick have? Nick has him at 23 sacks. So the 25, there could be like a half sack in here or whatever. But, I mean, he had 100 hurries, 27 hits, and 25 sacks for 152 altogether. Now, he graded out pretty well. I mean, his senior season at Wake Forest, it looks like he missed some time. I went on Wikipedia. I didn't dive that deep into it. I'm not exactly sure what happened to him. But he played in week 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, and 11. So he missed some time. All right. He played in only 402 snaps. He graded out a 71.2 according to PFF. That's all I'm going by. 2019, that it was in 2020, senior season. 2019, he played in 757 snaps. And he graded out an 86 points. So his junior season, he graded out an 86.7. His pass rushing grade was a 90.6 in his junior season at Wake Forest. His sophomore season, 2018, he played in 750 snaps, total snaps. He graded out an 81.7. So, I mean, pretty good. For a sophomore, he graded at 81.7 at Wake Forest. They're not known for, being a top 5 team, So who do they let's see here. Let's see here. 2019. Who do they go up against here? Because obviously they're usually Wake Forest is not known to be a powerhouse. He played against Utah State, Rice, North Carolina, Elon, Elon College, which is in South Carolina or North Carolina, one of those. Boston College, Louisville, Florida State, North Carolina State, Virginia Tech, Clemson, Duke, Syracuse, and Michigan State. So against Clemson, he was a 62.6 he graded out at as a junior. So, but so he got to play some tough schools, but he also has, like Elon College in there and everything. So his sophomore season, he graded out at 81.7. He played against Tulane, Towson State, Boston College, Notre Dame, Rice, Clemson, Florida State, Louisville, North Carolina State, Pittsburgh, Duke, and Memphis. So, he played some tough competition there. But let's see, in his 2 years at the NFL, let's see here. What did he grade? Last year at Buffalo, he only played in 447 snaps. He played in like almost every game. So I guess he's not did he start in any game? No, he didn't start in any of the games. So, he must be situational, or somebody, like Hottie Ward, right? Right. Kayvon's in there, Kayvon's been in there for whatever. Hottie go in there, give Kayvon a blow, right? Get him on the sideline, or, Azeez needs a blow. So put Toman Fox in there, which Toman Fox, unless he comes back on the practice squad, he's not on the team anymore. But, you know what I mean? So maybe Boogie's kind of like situational, somebody, that goes in there and gives somebody a breather. So he played in 447 snaps, and he didn't start. Looks like he played in every game. And, he graded out a 69.9 overall for last season. So, and his rookie season in 2021, he only played 244 snaps. What did he grade out? He graded out a 63.3. His rookie season, 63.3. So, he got better. He was a 63.3. Then he went up. Once again, only is by PFF. That's all I'm going by. I'm not going to sit here and say, I watched all his tape, every play he played. I watched it. I broke it down. I charted it out. I spent 7 hours watching each play. I broke everything. No. This is why I go to PFF. They graded him as 63.3. So if they grade him out at like an 80 or 85 or so, chances are he had a decent season. If they grade him at like a 20 or a 30, chances are he didn't do too well. You know what I mean? So 63.3, that's very subjective. He certainly could have played a little better. He certainly could have played a little worse. It gives me a reference point. So they graded him out at 63.3. So he could have played better. He certainly could have played worse. So, for his rookie season, only 244 snaps, he graded at 63.3. Not too bad. Now, the thing is that, if we're going to wind up playing him in there, to give somebody a breather, cool. Because now you figure we just added a couple pass rushers in the past, 5 days? We got Boogie and we got Isaiah Simmons. Not that Isaiah's going to be coming in maybe off the edge because he's a little light, blitzing him off the edge, but not trying to set the edge, But between Boogie and Isaiah, we just really helped our pass rush quite a bit. So, that's good. That's good. There's an edge that got cut by the Seattle that I want as to grab. His name is Levi. How many? Is he under 4 years? I don't. Levi, is he like a rookie or something? Second year, third year or something or whatever? Because if he's under 4 years, yeah. See, because the problem with the Giants, the problem about being good is now we're way down on the pecking order. We're like, whatever, maybe 25, I guess, somewhere around there. I think because it basically goes, I guess, like the draft order, right? Because if you win one game, well, you're picked number one in the draft, you're number one in the pecking order. So the problem with that, especially somebody who's a good offensive lineman, right, is that, we're at number 25 in the pecking order. So if we need offensive line depth, no question about that. So if a couple good offensive linemen, young offensive linemen get released, well, we're kind of far down. So they might get scoffed up. If what's his name? Levi Bell gets released and he's only played for a couple of years or whatever, chances are he might get scoffed up. if they're 4 years or more, like Cole Beasley, they're a free agent. They can sign with anybody they want. So, I mean, that's the one good thing about that. The one bad thing about that is that, if they get let go, if they're like 4 or 5 years or so, they could cost you a little bit more than somebody who's, only been there for 2 years. It could be a little more expensive. And the Giants don't have a ton of cap space. When you have a chance, check him. And, all right. Yeah, okay. I will. Sure. Absolutely. Yeah, see, my thing, I try to keep up on the Giants best I can. So sometimes all the moves that are out there and all the players and all that, sometimes I get a little overwhelmed sometimes by trying to keep up on all these guys. It's like, phew. It's amazing. It really, really is. But there we go. We got Thunder on the middle of the D line and Lightning on it. Oh, there you go. There you go. Thunder in the middle and Lightning on the outside. Oh, well, I'll tell you what, one thing you really got. I mean, if you look at last year's, or you go back maybe even a couple years ago, but you look kind of like last year and you look at like this year, man, we're fast. I mean, they added speed, both sides of the ball, fast, So that's good. That's really, really good. Red made a good point about the cap. Yeah. Yeah, we only got so much, so much room. It does help. Brings me up to my next point here. Salary cap or cap. What did I call it on my thumbnail here? Pay cuts. There you go. Pay cuts. Let's talk about a pay cut here, huh? Shall we? I'm very, very happy. Very, 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 very happy about good old Darnay. I'm glad, he did the Slayton kind of thing. I guess whatever they said, whatever. We want to have you on the team right now. Can you take a pay cut, or you're just a little too much, or whatever, or something like that. So he was, what was he? 2 point. Come on, here we go. All right. Holmes is in the final year of his rookie deal and was scheduled to account for $2.94 million against the cap in 2023. Cutting him would have saved the Giants more than $2.74 million, baby. Yeah. It's unclear how much of a pay cut Holmes took, so that'll come out somewhere along the line, but we don't know exactly how much right now. But they're short on cap space, but also thin at cornerback. Yep. Especially a veteran, Adoree Jackson plays poorly on the if he plays poorly on the inside, or if rookie Trey Hawkins struggles on the outside, which is possible. That's possible. This move allows the Giants to keep a veteran corner with experience in Wink Martindale's system without eating up the extra cap space. Yeah. It says, put another feather in Joe Shane's cap. Yep, absolutely. Let's see. It says here, with cut down day just 24 hours away, the New York Giants and general manager Joe Shane remain hard at work making personal decisions. On Monday, they made 11 total transactions, which include the release of 10 players. Rookie wide receiver Bryce Ford-Wheaton also placed on the injured. Yeah, oh, man. Then we had, there was some guys, of course, they let Colin Johnson go. That was a bummer. But that doesn't, well, I don't know. I mean, as far as I know, nobody's picked him up yet, but we'll have to wait and see. But there's always a chance of maybe him coming back, maybe clearing waivers. But of course, Chris Myrick fractured his hand against the Jets and was placed on injury reserve. And of course, there was other moves made when they released Colin Johnson, but then they also waived Jack Anderson, Wyatt Davis, who had the high ankle sprain. Now, you don't know how bad that was. I mean, that didn't look too good on in the preseason game when he got carted off. That didn't look good at all. Terrence pointed out that was the air cast was put on him, so that you put an air cast on somebody, that's not looking too good. But apparently what I heard was a high ankle sprain, and a cornerback Zion Gilbert. All three of the players were cut with injury designation. So, but then of course, then they got the big cut down here was Tommy DeVito. So hopefully, if we're lucky, right, he'll do the boomerang thing. We throw Tommy DeVito out there. Hopefully he clears waivers and he comes comes back to us when we put him on the practice squad. Hopefully he can clear some waivers. Now, the only one thing is that because you got to, if somebody's going to scoff him up, they're going to scoff him up and have to put him on their 53. That you got to do. So you're going to pick somebody who doesn't have any experience, he doesn't know your playbook, nothing like that. You're going to put him on your 53. That's kind of risky. That could possibly happen because we are talking a quarterback. He did put a little bit of nice stuff on film, right? He certainly did. So, but might be a little risky for another team putting him on their 53. But we'll have to wait and see. Corbin, they let go. But, I mean, it's the same thing with him. He might clear waivers. There's so many running backs out there. It's not like we let go of Saquon Barkley, right? Sean Corbin, he could come back. He could certainly come back. Khalil Pimpleton, Ryan Jones had a couple catches against the Jets. Tyree Phillips, which I thought, we'll have to wait and see. They might come back. Ryder Anderson, I guess maybe his injury was a little too bad because they kept DJ Davidson over him, Kobe Smith, Baldonado, Beavers. I was a little shocked about the Beavers there. And then this one here, Toman Fox. So Beavers and Fox. Now, the thing is with Beavers, you don't know, is his injury did it slow him down a little bit? Was he just a little off from his injury? Because he wasn't really, we're not talking, he wasn't Dick Butkus or nothing like that last season. Don't get me, or Lawrence Taylor or Harry Carson, but But, he certainly had some promise to him. This year you really weren't hearing a whole heck of a lot about him. So maybe, he hasn't fully recovered or come back from that injury. So hopefully, once again, just because we're waiving these young guys doesn't mean they won't be coming back on the practice squad. Now, somebody like Darren Beavers, right? We drafted him. He hasn't played it down yet in the NFL, right? He's coming off of a Achilles, right? He had the Achilles, right? So, how many teams out there, how many other 31 teams out there like, wow, that Darren Beavers, he was injured last year. He missed all last year. He hasn't played one snap in the NFL. Yeah, let's pick him up, put him on our 53. Chances are maybe not, so maybe, it's going to be interesting to see how the practice squad, pans out, who winds up going on there and all. So, just because we're letting these guys go, that doesn't wind up meaning that, a bunch of them won't be back on the practice squad. Toman Fox, a little surprised, but, especially now you figure Boogie, right? And Isaiah Simmons, a couple of these guys had to become expendable, right? So, Ray Wilburn, Deontay Johnson, Jamon Green, a little surprised about that one, but and once again, it doesn't mean he may not come back. Alex Cook, yeah. Cameron Lyons, yeah. Oshane Ximines, but, we got the boogeyman, right? And we got Isaiah Simmons. So some of these guys had to become expendable, and Oshane Ximines was probably there. But once again, it doesn't mean that he may not make, get put on the practice squad. Jamison Crowder, right? But Oshane Ximines, right? This is his fourth season. So I believe he's a free agent. Same thing with Jamison Crowder. Same thing with Cole Beasley, David Sills, Amani Oruwariye, and Sean Harlow, the center, right? Those guys are all, I believe they're all, I think they're veterans, and I believe they could possibly, they're just free agents, I believe. So that means if, so they can maybe sign, whoever they want. The Giants let Cole Beasley go. So if they just say, Cole, we're going to let you go, but wink, wink, we're going to bring you back. I'll put you on the practice squad or something. So, well, I have to wait and see. We'll have to want to wait and see on that one there. It's Jamison Crowder, they let him go. So, let's see here. Then they got the final 53. Now it's funny. Mostly for the run to cut off the edge when he comes in. We'll get another guard this week. Well, yeah, that's quite possible. See, the nice thing is that, when anybody's got like 4 years or more, they're basically free agents and they can sign wherever they want. And if we're looking for a backup guard, they're not going to cost a lot. We ain't got a lot. They're going to cost a lot. So, but we need, depth, as we've seen. I mean, we're going to go over the final 53. I mean, so that we got, we kept Matt Parrott. He had some nice stuff in some of the run blocking. Carl Banks even pointed that out when we were playing the Jets. Matt Parrott had a couple, some nice job as the run, but he's got some problems as trying to hold down the fort, hold down the edge. So, but we need some help there. That's for sure. So we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, I mean, Beasley, I'd be surprised if he, because the connection between him and Daboll, they're talking to him. It's not like, thanks, Cole. Have a good one, brother. Good. Yeah, thanks. You meant a lot to us as train. Because look what happened, right? They let Colin Johnson go. I can't remember how many plays into the game Bryce Ford Wheaton got injured. His season's over, right? It didn't take last year against the Titans. So if we have Cole Beasley on the practice squad, right? Wan'Dale Robinson caught one pass. I can't remember, first quarter, maybe second quarter, one pass for 5 yards. I think hurt his knee, and he missed a couple games. Didn't take long, right? Then, of course, a couple games later, Sterling Shepard runs out 6-7 yards, doesn't do anything. Nobody touches him, not like it just runs out, boom, he goes down, boom, his season's over. What happened? What? So just because Cole Beasley's on the practice squad, doesn't mean he'll be on there long. You want him to be on there long because that might mean that the six we got on the team are doing great. They're all nice and healthy, this, that, and the other thing. But as we know, the New York Giants and injuries kind of go hand in hand, don't they? Especially the past 10 years. So just because Cole's on there for a little, or also, we can, whatever. Let's see. Who do we got here? Boom. There we go. All right. What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They got 11 defensive backs, cornerbacks, safeties. Okay. So say one of them gets injured. Say Nick McLeod gets injured and he's going to miss some time, right? There's no rule. Well, you lost you lost Nick McLeod. He's a defensive back, so you have to bring a defensive back up from the practice squad. No, you can bring whoever you want up there. You know what I mean? So you can bring Cole Beasley up if you want. Just say if somebody's maybe nicked, I don't know. Say Paris Campbell is a little nicked up or something like that. You got him playing, but he might only be able to get so many reps in there. Maybe bring Cole Beasley up. So now you might have 7 wide receivers. But chances are, because the one thing is here, what? Paris Campbell, what's he unfortunately have? What's his problems been since he's been in the pros? Injuries, right? Isaiah Hodgins, cool. Jalen Hyatt, knock on wood, no injuries, right? Wan'Dale Robinson, what happened to him last year? Injuries. Sterling Shepard, what's happened to him the past 3, 4, 5 years, whatever? Injuries, right? And of course, we had Darius Slayton, who's stayed relatively healthy. He had a couple. I remember I can't remember what it was a few years ago. I think he might have missed a couple games or so, but he's been relatively healthy. But 3 out of these 6 guys have had injury problems in their history. So just because we got Cole Beasley on the practice squad doesn't mean he won't be called up. That's for sure. But now you got Daniel Jones and Tyrod Taylor. No surprise there. And we got the Killer Bees, right? Which is cool. I'm very, very, very happy about that. We got Barkley, Breida, and Brightwell, right? And then we've got, of course, Eric Ray. So now it's going to be interesting to see between Brightwell and Gray, right? When Brightwell is healthy and this, that, and the other thing, does one try to return kickoffs and one return punts? Is it all Gray? Is it going to be all Brightwell? We'll have to wait and see. But I'm happy that they got Brightwell on there because they also need some special teams help as well too. So that's good. I'm glad they found room for 4. Very good. Then of course the wide receivers, you got Campbell, Hodgins, Hyatt, Robinson, Shepard, and Slayton. So you don't have the Ford Wheaton, 6'4", whatever he is. You don't have the Colin Johnson, 6'6", or whatever. So you don't have the real tall guys. But, Campbell, speed, Hyatt, speed. So you got Wandale and Shepard. You got some, some guys underneath in the slot. Of course, then you got some guys outside. Slayton's got speed. Hyatt's obviously got speed. Campbell's got speed. So we got a nice little mixture there. That's a nice mixture. Tight ends, this was probably no big surprise here. You got Bellinger, Cager, and Waller. Now, the thing is, I know they were talking about is that were they going to keep, I heard, a lot of discussion, were they going to keep maybe 4 tight ends? Like maybe, I guess they can't keep Myrick because his hand's fractured. We'll have to wait and see what happens with Sweeney. Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see, because here, right, with the tight ends, now they can always bring in like maybe an extra offensive lineman or something like that. But if you ever run, what would it be, like 13 personnel, you're not getting much. If you run a 3 tight end set, right, you're not getting much, a ton of support in the blocking department between Waller and Cager. Now, Cager's, Nick Volato said he's a little light in the pants as far as trying to block, So if you're bringing in 13, running a 13, just get 3 tight ends in there. We got the offensive line, the 3 tight end. We're going to blow everybody off the ball. That may not be the case. But there was no big surprise there as far as the tight ends, the 3. Then they wind up having, 2, 4, 6. They got 9. So you got Bredesen, Zudu, and Glowinski, right? Michael Schmitz and Andrew Thomas and Evan Neal. Now the other, McKeithen. Hopefully he can stay healthy. Let's see what he can do, because they did draft him in the 5th round. You draft the guard in the 5th round. That's not somebody you want to be giving up on. Without questions, he hasn't played a snap in the NFL yet, right? So hopefully he can develop, into something. Same thing with, they're kind of counting on Azudu as well too. So I'm glad they kept McKeithen. That's really, really good. I am a little surprised with Parrott. So he's going to be, I guess, kind of like the swing tackle kind of guy, I guess. So, but this is also his final season. He needs to poop or get off the pot, if you know what I mean. Right, so this is, he's not bad in run blocking, but he's got some, if like God forbid somebody goes down against the Cowboys or the Eagles or something, God, once again, I don't know, it'll be bad news here, but Evan Neal goes down or something, and you're putting Parrott in there against the Cowboys. Holy cow, Batman! You better put somebody else over there to help him, because it could be like a turnstile. It won't look pretty. He had some bad snaps in the preseason pass protection. That was against maybe 2nd and 3rd stringers from the other team. Imagine him going up against like DeMarcus Lawrence or somebody like that. Because don't forget, right? I mean, they can put the defensive player wherever they want. They're putting, if Parrott's the right tackle. Well, guess where their best pass rusher is going to go? Right across from the right tackle. They're going to, they're going to be a mismatch there. They're going to make sure it's a mismatch, big time. But I am kind of happy to see that the good old Shane Lemieux. I mean, can't say I was totally shocked, but he's got a little flexibility. He can play guard, and he took some snaps at center. He's probably not their best. He's a 3rd center, right? So hopefully he doesn't ever come to back where he has to play center. But I'm kind of happy for him. I'm also, just happy for him that he actually made it through training camp without because partially torn patella tendon 2 years ago, he played, I think, 17 snaps the first game. He played the first quarter against Denver when we lost. 17 snaps, actually graded out pretty good according to Pro Football Focus, and he didn't look too bad. I looked a little bit at the film, but I wasn't going to sit there for an hour and a half and diagnose all of his plays, but it didn't look too bad. But he played the first quarter against the Broncos 2 years ago, and he couldn't go anymore because I guess it was too hurt too bad or whatever. And then of course last year I think it was his toe. He hurt that in training camp, and that kind of ruined his whole season too. So I'm just happy he actually made it to training camp without actually maybe to the regular season. So, but he has a little flexibility there too, right? But same thing with him. He's got to poop or get off the pot too, because I believe this is his fourth season, right? Because he played this will be his fourth season. So if he wants to, there's no fifth-year option for Shane Lemieux. So if he wants to, hang on his team, he better show something. But he has to stay healthy. He has to stay healthy. So, all right, so let's go. We got backup running backs have no speed. They're too slow. That's why I wanted. Yeah. Well, I mean, and you look at Robinson too. I mean, he had a nice run there against the Jets, but I know it's Gray's got some good moves, but he has no top end speed. He dancing. He can make some guys miss and all that. But if you give him a hole or whatever, and he can just takes off, he could get caught from behind. Yeah, Bright. Well, I mean, they're solid running backs, but they're not. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's but we're also building too. It's not, it's going to take, we're not a complete roster. We probably never will be a complete roster. I mean, that's why Gray went in the fifth round. Yeah, he was the fifth. Trey Hawkins, the third, was sixth, and then we had Riley and Gio in the seventh. But yeah. Oh no. Oh yeah. Well, he went in the fifth round, but no, you're right. I'll tell you what, he's good hands. He's rather low, strong, got some strong legs. This, that, and the other thing is, in space, he can make guys miss and all that. No, but you're absolutely right. If he had top end speed, yeah, because you give him a hole, and if he's gone, oh yeah, he's not lasting to the fifth round. Absolutely not. No. Yeah, no, you're right. No, absolutely. No, I mean, because you look at, I mean, obviously, when they show you the tape or whatever of Eric Gray, they show you, oh my, look at that move. Look at this guy's unbelievable. Of course, they don't show you all the other plays that he was in. You know what I mean? But yeah, but what you do see is that he has some moves. But if he does get in if he has the chance to take off, he can get caught from behind. Special teams outside of the kickers can. Oh yeah, absolutely. Wait, let me see here. Okay, they did keep Cam Brown. I was surprised about that. But once again, this is the initial. This doesn't mean it's the final. I think the final 53 is next Tuesday, I think it is. So this is the initial. See, and that too, because guys get let go, right? And then you're like, oh, let's pick this guy up. Holy cow! All right, let's bring in look at this a veteran. Just say a veteran guard. He's 40. Well, this guy, he's pretty good. We'll sign him, put him to the 53. Oh, we got to get rid of somebody. I'll get rid of Cam Brown. But I'm surprised that they actually. Hopefully will be, hopefully. Oh, but I mean, what was it? I mean, Howard Cross mentioned the punt return against Detroit. He said the Scottish Hammer outkicked the coverage. So basically, the two gunners were like way down the field, and there was like nobody behind them. Because you kick the ball 60 yards down the field. If you don't have 6-second hang time, which I don't know if anybody in God's creation ever has, right? You're out. Maybe the gunners can kind of get somewhere close there, but you figure where the gunners are at, then the next wall of guys is way behind them. I mean, the object is to kick it, and have it when it comes down. I mean, the object is when it comes down, you got the whole 10 guys very close. I mean, if he kicks it on a line drive and it goes 60 yards downfield, well, the two gunners might be within 10 yards because if he kicks it 60 yards and it takes 5 seconds, I mean, the gunners won't even be able to go 50 yards in 5 seconds. That's like running a 4-second 40. That's not happening, especially if you got guys bumping. So if he kicks it 60 yards and it takes 5 seconds, the gunners might be 45 yards down the field. So the guy catches the ball and he's got 15 yards of space between the gunners. Well, the rest of the guys, they have to wait a couple seconds. They just can't take off. So they snap the ball. I think they count 1,001, maybe 1,002. Then they take off. So there's no illegal man downfield or whatever. Guys leaving early, whatever the penalty is. But if he kicks it, 60 yards in 5 seconds, well, if they count 1,001, 1,002, well, the ball is in the air. So by the time they run, they're only maybe 30, 35 or so yards down the field. So by the time the guy catches the ball, he has like maybe 10 yards between him and the gunners. And if you can make a guy, you always have to make a guy miss on the punt returns, 1 or 2 guys. If you make 1 or 2 guys miss, you got a chance. But, I mean, after that, and he could have like 15 yards or so between the next bunch of guys. So there's a lot of space out there. So, I mean, it's the coverage teams, which kind of concerns you, but it's also the hammer. He's got to get something like this. Just because you can kick it 70 yards on a line, well, that's great, but we're going to give up some return yards. But then also in the return against the Jets, too. We had the 4th string guys. Oh, yeah. Well, injuries. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And McKay said that, and other guys, too. I mean, it's tough. Just you get your starting unit, and then you just got to keep bringing, because other guys get hurt or other guys move up and become starters or whatever. You keep bringing new guys in there. It's nice to have the cohesion, the same guys in there. Keep bringing other guys up from the practice squad. Okay, you're on the punt team. Oh, okay, cool. It's not that easy, as we say. But then, as I said, the one return against the Jets, the guy stepped out of bounds, just barely stepped out of bounds. But if if he didn't step out of bounds, he started cutting back in. It's like there was like nobody there to tackle him. I mean, it was like, So, and I remember last year, too, in the beginning of the season, we gave up some long returns as well, too. So, yeah, we got to, and I'll tell you what, I don't know if you saw that video with after we gave up the touchdown to the Lions on the punt. McGahee walks past Dable, and he's like staring at him. Right, like it looks could have killed. If he had lasers shooting out of his eyeballs, McGahee would have been dead. I mean, he would have just like blew his head right off it. I mean, he was not happy. But you see, we lost the game because of a punt return for touchdown. If we could have pinned them down there around the 20-yard line, chances are maybe they don't score on that drive, right? So that just goes to show you. Now on the defense, let's see. It's these are probably special team kind of guys right here. We got Cam Brown and Carter Coughlin. Now, the weird thing is that they only got between middle line, inside linebackers, and, well, actually, then Boogie's not on here. So, actually, I guess there's 9. Because on this whole list, there's only 52 guys on this list. I'm like, why is there only 52? Because it's funny because on it says 53-man roster. I'm over here counting names. I'm like, why is there 52 guys? Where's the 53-man? That's it, because Boogie's not on here. I don't see him on there. So they got, with Boogie, they got, between inside linebacker and edge rushers, right? They got 9 with Boogie. So they got Cam Brown, Carter Coughlin, Micah McFadden, Azeez, Karake, obviously Simmons, Thibodeau, and Hottie, and then Boogie, right? But Toman Fox, right? And Oshane Ximines became expendable, I guess, basically because of maybe Simmons and Boogie. Now, Boogie, they didn't trade for Boogie. Either Toman Fox or Oshane Ximines would be on that list. But that's what happens. That's what happens when you're always trying to upgrade your roster, right? I mean, they upgrade their roster one more time with a linebacker. Cam Brown might be gone, right? And, of course, defensive linemen, they kept 6. They kept DJ Davidson, who they drafted last year. I guess Ryder Anderson, I guess maybe. I mean, you're ever going to know. Is the injury, is injury just, I guess, too bad? It looks like he's going to stay out for a while or whatever, because he beefed up, and heard some nice things about him early in camp before he got injured. But he put on some weight. So, I mean, he didn't look too bad last year sometimes in some spot, sometimes he had some, he wasn't in there a ton, but, he didn't look too bad. So I'm surprised. I guess maybe his injury kept him out. But DJ Davidson, Sexy Dexy, Nunez Roaches, Jordan Riley, right? Because you don't want to put him on waivers because he may not come back to you. Sean Robinson and Len Williams. So that's a nice 6-some right there. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Special teams, you got the Hammer, Scottish Hammer, Gillen, Kreider and Graham Cano. Then the defensive backs. Of course, we got Deonte Banks, Dane Belton. They got them all, I guess, it's alphabetical order here. Flott, because they got the cornerbacks and the safeties all mixed together. Banks, Belton, Flott, Hawkins the third, Holmes, Jackson, McCain, McLeod, the MC Hammers, right? Can't touch this, right? You got McCain, McLeod, McKinney. And you got Gio Owens, Javarius Owens, and Jason Pinnock. So it's that's not too bad. I mean, McCain, Flott, and Holmes and Jackson, those can be like your slot cornerbacks, right? It's going to be interesting to see it. I mean, does Hawkins and Banks wind up playing, starting? Are they on the outside? Is Adoree Jackson on the inside? We'll have to wait and see. But that's not bad. You know, I mean, I'm anxious to see. Hopefully Pinnock's okay, and we got McKinney in there. So I mean, that's not bad. That's not bad. I definitely think we're certainly in a lot better, especially on defense, than we were last year. The inside, the interior, we got much better depth between Nunez, Roches, and Ashawn Robinson. Much better depth. Then we got two young guys between DJ Davidson and Jordan Riley. You know, be the third stringers there. The linebackers, Shane Beavers, he might make it back to the practice squad now. So don't ever forget about him. But on the outside, between Ojulari and Kayvon, right? Not bad. And we got Boogie. So, so we hopefully those guys can stay healthy. But the inside, I mean, we went from like Jalen Smith and Tay Crowder, right? Now we might have like Isaiah Simmons and Bobby Okereke. That's a big upgrade right there, right? I said, and then our cornerbacks. I mean, to get possible 2 starting cornerbacks in one draft, and they're starting, quite possibly day one. I mean, that's pretty impressive between Banks and Hawkins. So, and then we let J Love with special sauce, Julian Love go, right? But Pinnock certainly looks more than capable. He certainly looks very, very capable. So that's good. So I think all in all, but once again, this is just the initial 53, right? Because it's like almost never ending. Because then what happens? Everybody has their initial 53, right? Guys will let go, right? I forgot what the freaking number is. A lot of guys. You got 37 guys on 32 teams. Whatever. It's over 1,000 guys. Just get let go, right? So then, not all of them, but some of them get brought in and either whatever. So maybe some go on the team's practice squad or some going on the 53 or whatever. But the ones that go on 53, what do they got to do? They got to let go more guys. So more guys become expendable. It's just it's never ending. So this is the initial 53. It's not the final 53. The final 53, I think Patty Traynor was saying I think it's like next Tuesday, maybe like 4:00. Maybe it's like a week later. So maybe like next Tuesday, 4:00. So this is just the initial. It doesn't mean it's the final 53. We have to wait and see what the practice squad looks like and all that and everything. But nothing too overwhelmingly, surprisingly. That the guys that they cut. And some of the guys that they cut, I mean, like DeVito, not cut, waived. You waive the rookies or whatever, but like Beavers, maybe even Toman Fox, DeVito, some guys like that, they might want to come back on the practice squad. So nothing extremely overwhelmingly surprising, and you got to, this 53 right now, you got to feel pretty good about. As I said, it's not the final 53 either. So, all right, guys, it's been 59 minutes. Hey, Jersey guys, Vinny G-Men. What we got in the strength in the kicking legs? Change the strategy behind the kicking game. Oh, wait, is the strength in the kicker's legs? Changing the strategy behind the well, that's possible too. Because I know, because you talk a lot. I hear a lot about that. It seems like they're really trying to take like the kickoff out of the game because they're looking for guys' safeties, the safety of the guys. Because you guys got like whatever 230, 240 pound, 220 pound guys running 30, 40 yards, 50 yards straight down the field, they're running fast, and all of a sudden you got these guys here kind of going a little slower, but you got these guys like whatever, 20, 21 miles an hour. It's, bad things can happen, so that's why they're trying to take that out of the game. At least the punt return for the most part. That's still a science. That's still, because there's punters out there who can just launch the ball 60 yards or whatever farther down the field. But if you're going to outkick your coverage, So, the object is to get it up, to get it to come down, to get it to come down as the rest of your team is around him. So he's calling a fair catch. That's the object. But that too. You're seeing the kicking game. Definitely. Graham Gano stepping up, kicking 250-something yard field goals in a preseason game. He's just like kicking them almost right down the center. It's like it's just like crazily. Could you imagine what they're going to be like in 50 years from now? It's amazing. It's really amazing. All right, guys. Well, Terrence, Vinny, G-Man, Jersey guys, everybody. Thank you. It's 1 hour. We made an hour, guys. All right, I'll be back again tomorrow. Oh, yeah. So whoever spent any time listening to me live, thank you. Or if anybody spends any time watching the replays, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Really appreciate it. So you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo! Oh, man, that was horrible. Woo! That was better. Oh, yeah.